So today we are going to talk about Casey at the bat. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me what the subject of Casey at the bat is?
Playing baseball.
Nathan, playing baseball. Thank you very much. This is totally for you. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me what they know already about playing baseball? Carlos, what do you know?
Is that an inning?
You have an inning, that's true. CL, what do you know about baseball? What do you do in baseball? Let's look at the picture here. What do you do in baseball?
Bats.
You do have a bat, that's correct. Dylan, what else do you do in baseball?
Hit the ball.
You hit the ball. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Okay. So now that we've talked a little bit about baseball, we're going to talk about our author of the story. Does anybody want to read the paragraph about the author?
Ernest Baer studied
Philosophy.
under William James at Harvard and later wrote a weekly column for classmate William Randolph San Francisco
Examiner. So hold on.
Examiner.
So William Randolph Hearst is the guy that built the big, humongous Hearst Castle. Go ahead, continue, Nathan.
It was the Examiner, the first published Bayer's Ode to Baseball. Casey at the bat on June 3rd, 1888. Under the pen name Finn, it was republished a few weeks later in the New York Sun, but its popularity came mostly from almost 40,000 performances of the poem by comedian D. Wolf Hopper, 1856-1935.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So this poem takes place in what, Nathan?
88.
1888. Josh, was that a long time ago or was it recent? It was a long time ago. Carlos, 1888, a long time ago or recent?
Long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Okay, so what do we think of Ernest Thayer? Does he look like a young man or an old man?
Old man. Young.
He does look young in this photo, right? But he's not alive anymore because the story took place a long time ago. Okay, I'm going to read the summary of the story, and I want everybody to listen, and then I'm going to ask you guys to talk about what happens in the story. Is everybody thumbs up for that? Thumbs up? Thumbs up? Cool. Okay. As the poem opens, a baseball game is entering its 9th inning. Remember, there are 9 innings in, what sport are we talking about?
Baseball.
Baseball, awesome. The score is 4-2, and the Mudville baseball team seems sure to lose. 2 men are out. Can anybody tell me how many outs there are in baseball?
Sad ending.
Well, there's 9 innings, that's true, but how many outs? Does anybody know that? So there's 2 outs in the story, but how many outs end the baseball game? 3 outs end the baseball game. That brings the star player Casey up to bat as the crowd cheers. A cocky Casey entertains the fans and sneers at the pitcher. Can anybody tell me what cocky means? What's another way of saying cocky? Do we know? So another way of saying cocky is somebody that is full of themselves. So they have an attitude that they're full of themselves. Casey lets the first 2 pitches go by. The fans object to the umpire calling them strikes, but Casey signals to the crowd that he does not object, and they become quiet. At the 3rd pitch, Casey finally makes a mighty swing, and what happens to him? He what?
Strike.
He strikes out. Awesome. Okay, so who can tell me what happened in the story? Can anybody tell me what happened?
Casey?
Casey? Casey is a what? Is he
Baseball
He is a baseball player. That's awesome. You're on it today. So Casey is a baseball player. So up here, we have our characters, right? So Casey is listed here under characters. Who else is a character in the story? The fans, the people in the crowd, right? They're screaming and cheering and they're excited. And what about the guy that stands behind home plate? Does anybody remember what he's called?
Umpire?
An umpire. Awesome. Okay.
I love
So as Joshua stated, the main character... Christian, what is the main character's name? Casey, thank you. All right. Joshua, would you like to come up and help me? Let's put together, come help me. Let's put together this sentence, okay? So remember, a sentence starts with what kind of letter? A capital. So, the, and then main, good. Character, good. Is, awesome. And what's the main character's name?
Casey.
And Casey is a name, so it has to start with a what?
Period.
Well, it's the end of a sentence, so it has a period, but it starts with a, if it's a name, it has a what?
See, capital.
Capital, thank you. Okay? And the setting, where does this story take place, Nathan? A baseball field. And what city is it in? It's in Mudville. So look, it says, welcome to Mudville, population 352. Is that a big town or a small town? 352?
Small town.
Small town, thank you. Okay, and what year are we in, Dylan?
We're 1888.
1888.
We're been here 2019, remember?
Well, it is 2019 now, that's correct.
Hi.
Okay, who would like to come up here and show me what a baseball field looks like? Carlos, you want to come up? Okay, show me what a baseball field should look like.
Oh. First one?
That's first base, so go ahead. First base is where?
Oh.
Beautiful, that's good. Where's the next one?
Next one?
This is what base?
Second.
Second base.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And third base, which one is third base?
This one.
And what about the last one? Home plate. Thank you.
Go.
Good job. You can sit down.
Go.
Okay. The last thing we're going to cover is about the plot. The plot. Hey. The plot is what, Christian? Can you read that sentence, please?
It's about the ups and downs of the baseball.
And what kind of ending does Casey at the bat have?
It has a sad ending.
Why is Casey at the bat sad? What happens? He what? Look at the photo, and what is he doing in the
Who
picture?
broke a ball?
He did break a ball, that's correct, but what's he doing? He's doing what with the bat?
The quick bat.
He's swinging. He's swinging at the ball, and does he hit the ball or does he miss?
Does it happen?
It doesn't happen, that's right. That's why it's sad, because he doesn't hit the ball. If you look at the photo, he is missing the ball. Okay, this is going to be our last one, and remember we talked about the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, and the end of the story, and that makes up the word that starts with a P?
Plot.
Plot, thank you. Okay, Dylan, you want to come up and help me?
I don't like Disney.
I like
Don't worry, dude.
All right, Nathan, come and help me, please. Okay, so what's happening in this first pictured?
Losing 4-2.
Can you say it louder so everybody can hear you? The Mudville team is losing 4-2, and that's the what of the story? The beginning of the story. What's in the second photo?
Middle.
The middle. And what's happening in the middle?
Casey comes to bat.
Casey does come to bat. Thank you. And what about the ending of the story?
Casey strikes out and the team loses.
Casey strikes out and the team loses. Thank you so much. All right. So we're going to take a little break, and then once we are done with our break, we will go over the Casey at the Bat quiz.
Should you stop playing the
What? Go ahead. All right. So we're going to watch a short video of Casey at the Bat, what we just read and went over in class before we take our short little quiz. And I'm going to ask you guys to talk to your seat neighbors about what you see in the video. So, can anybody tell me what they see first before I hit play?
Casey.
You see Casey? Good. Anybody else?
What?
What do you see?
What?
You see Blakely? Blakely is one of our, what? A character. Awesome. Okay, here we go.
Yo. Come on. Oh.
All right, who is the guy that throws the ball in the baseball game? Throws the pitcher. Awesome. All right. So who are these people in the stands? Remember we talked about them? They're one of our characters too. Fans. Awesome. You are on it today. I love it. Good job, bud. And what are they doing in the stands, Nathan? What are they doing?
Cheering.
They're cheering. Beautiful. And who are they cheering for? Who are they cheering for? Who's our main character? Casey. Awesome. Okay. So now that we've seen a little bit of the video, we're going to go ahead and go over our short quiz. Okay. So I'm going to have you talk to your seat neighbor a little bit about what's going on in the quiz. So Nathan, can you help me? Can you read the first question out loud for me?
What game is played in the story?
Josh, will you work with Carlos, and can you talk to Carlos about what the game is that's being played in the story? Baseball. Hey, can you tell Carlos what the game is in the story? What game are we watching? Casey at the Bat. And what sport is it? Baseball. Okay. Number 2. Who is the main character in the story? Raise your hand.
Casey.
Carlos.
Casey.
Casey. Awesome. And where does the story take place, Nathan?
Mudville.
In Mudville. Awesome. And true or false, Casey at the Bat is a poem.
Yeah.
True. True. Very nice. Who strikes out at the end of the story, Nathan? Casey strikes out. And how do you feel at the end of the story?
Sad.
Sad. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Got it. That's okay.